You don't get a YouTube intro now. You screwed up my ending on the last one.
YouTube intro.
So I was talking about NASCAR? It's the truck series.
Yeah.
I missed the melon track.
Anyway, YouTube intro.
Now.
Hi.
Now. Now, you wouldn't let me say goodbye on the last episode. You'll get a hi.
I just got it.
No! I did it ironically.
Alright.
This little girl. This is literally fun. Oh. Yeah, we're talking about Traku.
Talking about this NASCAR driver who also does streaming.
Okay.
Got kicked from a convention they was supposed to be the guest star of.
What kind of convention?
A gaming, anime kind of convention.
Why would they have NASCAR drivers?
Because this guy does a lot of gaming stuff, too. Like, he's actually a streamer.
Oh, okay. So he's a streamer on top of being a NASCAR truck driver.
So today we're going to be talking about Camelot 331. This is a content creator and NASCAR driver who has found himself as the latest victim of cancel culture, where some people at a convention where he was supposed to be a featured guest at have determined that he is problematic, and they complain to the leadership of this event, and lo and behold,
they just don't like NASCAR. They probably just see...
This guy probably center-right kind of guy, and some cosplayer got upset and didn't want him there.
I hate when that happens. You have one person that doesn't like you, who's gonna be a guest at the same convention as you, and they can somehow dictate that you get fucking banned.
It's like with Kirsha and Offkai last year.
And this is the most stupidest thing ever.
He has been removed from that convention. Now, before we get into the details of this situation, I want to put all the cards on the table. I have talked about Cam once before, and it was in a critical way. He made these tweets about 2 years ago about FaZe Connect member Pippa, where he said, "Caught the girl at my house that is definitely not Pippa, taking pics of my kitties." To clarify, very quick.
I don't even know who the fuck Pippa is.
She's a other VTuber, a big one.
As well the memorable villain. Who?
She's a FaZe Connect VTuber who's actually friends of Kirsha, like big friends of Kirsha.
I'm still not gonna know people.
This is not Pippa. Okay, this caused a lot of confusion. Apparently, the two are not exactly close enough for this to be a reasonable joke, and a lot of FaZe Connect members were slamming Cam for this tweet.
This one.
And
I don't even know what the fuck he's talking about.
Apologize, where he capitalized certain letters in the tweet, which would spell out FaZe is gay. Okay, so before we get into everything here, there's two things I want to point out. Number one, I don't think a lame set of tweets should define someone forever. Everyone makes some bad takes here and there, but most importantly, number two, I will talk about someone who I disagree with on certain matters if they're the victim of cancel culture.
She's the girl I showed you had the son is racist. Oh. That's Pippa.
Wait, how would you be able to say someone's Does she even show her actual face?
No. It was a joke. They were kind of trolling each other back and forth on Twitter, and it got out of hand.
I'm guessing that was probably like...
And he's apologized to her, too, over it.
What?
This was years ago.
I don't get the issue.
And in this case,
he
is very clearly being persecuted because of his worldview, his politics, his beliefs, his comedy, all the things that have been determined as wrong, as problematic, whatever term you want to use. And what is going on with this particular situation? It involves Raleigh Retro Gamers. So Raleigh, North Carolina. This is a owner that's hosting an event here called Game and Geek Expo 2025. And of course, the first thing they say when you look at their website, "You belong here." Ah, yes. You belong.
Yes, you belong here, as they ban someone for no fucking reason other than... Damn it, you're making me sick. Stop it.
Enjoy the sickness.
No.
I think it's bronchitis I've had.
Oh shit, you're gonna kill me.
As long as you agree with all of their viewpoints, because he has been kicked. Here is the tweet he shared talking about this, saying, "To all the people who bought tickets to come see me at the Game and Geek Expo, I have been kicked from the event. one of the vendors and photographers from the event said, "I'm a Nazi, so I have been canceled from the show."
Lovely!
Yeah, you know, first...
Lovely. Throwing that word around again.
I am so sick of people calling everything.
Congratulations, games and geeks. You destroyed yourself.
Oh yeah, and this is the first year of its convention too.
You're not very inclusive, are you?
First of all, why does a vendor, or photographer for that matter, care about this guy? Why do they care? Why do they have a say in any of this? He has been invited.
That's
he was
the
accepted
question.
as a guest. He was invited. He took the role. He was supposed to be a featured guest at this convention, and obviously he has a big social media following. He's also a NASCAR driver. Obviously, there's a lot of appeal towards him, and that's probably one of the reasons they brought him to this event in the first place. But of course, these photographers and vendors somehow think they have a say, and they've been rewarded by these people who took their feelings into consideration and dropped Camelot as a result of their complaints. And it's absolutely ridiculous. It's very obviously because he has a...
I have to make a note.
What?
Is his username a play on Kamala Harris?
No, he's had the word Camelot for a while.
Okay. That's what it was making me think of.
Conservative set of viewpoints. That's what they're doing here. That's happened many times before, but let's look at the actual email he was sent. It says, "Hi, Cody. Thank you again for your interest in being part of Game and Geek Expo. We appreciate the time and effort you've put into your content and the support you've shown towards our events. After careful consideration, we've made the decision to move forward without your involvement in this year's show. While we truly appreciate your recent efforts, including the removal of one of your flag videos," big mistake. So apparently, they complained about one of his videos. They flagged it, and he tried to comply with them, and he deleted the video, and guess what? It doesn't work. You can't work with these people when they start asking you to...
If I remember correctly, because he was on Gundam's, like, podcast live stream, maybe you want to call it. He was on there explaining what happened. One of the jokes he did was joking about ass to mouth. And supposedly someone got complaints like that's not family friendly for our convention, even though some of the cosplayers have an OnlyFans. So...
There's just nothing.
I don't know if he'll mention it, but also the guy lost a couple grand because he also made specific like merch with his truck for the sell at the specific event.
Oh.
Censor yourself.
Like it had the name of the
videos.
convention and junk.
It's never going to stop there. It's never going to be enough, and that was a mistake on his behalf.
Oh, no. He was... Okay, so he was going to be like one of those car thingies where he has the car inside the building and stuff.
Yeah.
That is so scummy of them.
But it was an honest effort to try to remedy what was going on here.
Oh, here's the better scummy part. Before they cancel him, the last race he was at, I think it was like Charlotte they were at. A couple of the guys, he gave a couple of the guys at the convention like VIP to be with him down on the track, and they didn't tell him to cancel him until after the race.
Oh!
That's how scummy they are.
So... Speaking of race,
Yeah.
someone going vroom outside.
You know how much that shit costs to have be down in the pits and stuff like that? That is not cheap.
But the email continues, "Additional content has since surfaced that has raised continued concerns from our community, guests, and sponsors. Unfortunately, we've already experienced the loss of a sponsor and several other guest participants due to this situation, and is beginning to negatively affect the overall perception and inclusivity of our event. Please understand this is not a reflection on you as a creator, but rather a necessary step to ensure we are maintaining a space that is welcoming, respectful, and positive for all attendees and partners. We absolutely respect your right to creative expression and free speech, but we also have a responsibility to our broader community." So basically, this is not a reflection on you, and we respect you, but get out. Yeah, get the hell out of here, dude.
No. You totally have a problem with him. You just have a problem with him. You won't tell him the truth, and you're just being... God, I can't stand these kind of people.
Oh, wait till you get to the part where the guy called him, and he recorded the phone call, and the guy's basically trying to kiss his ass, trying to, hey, don't make a cancel mob on us, and it made it 10 times worse.
But
Apparently...
The issue is with these people... Okay, so... okay, you attack someone for their political beliefs, apparently, but they never do attack someone who does something actually scummy.
There are people at that convention that's supposed to have sexual assault allegations.
Exactly! That's the point!
These people, first language was doublespeak.
His line of thinking, his content, it's not good enough. You don't belong here is what they're saying while they tote the message in their About section about everyone belonging here. Very ironic. But he also would release a call he had with the president of Raleigh Retro Gamers, where he discusses with him why this is all happening, really try to get to the core of why he's been removed. And I'm going to share a small segment of this call that makes it very clear. He's being removed because he is problematic.
Negating how we could move forward.
This is the guy from the convention.
Because dude, and it's exactly what you were alluding to in your video, is, people taking sides and harping and going off about it. It's exactly what you said, bro. They're fucking gonna make a big deal out of it.
Yep.
And I get that, and I totally get that. I get what you were saying. I get where you're coming from, man. I completely respect your thoughts and opinions on it, and I'm not trying to say, oh, you're wrong or whatever. I don't want you to think that this is an attack against you, or obviously you don't care, but you don't care.
He doesn't care, huh? Really, he doesn't care that you're fucking screwing him over like this. I doubt that.
What I think or what my opinion is, but that's why you have the followers that you have, because you have no filter. You just fucking tell it like it is. I get that, bro.
Yep.
But I'm just telling you, man to man, bro, this is fucking everything that I put everything into this community, and when a big majority of it is having issues, that's when I'm trying to
What?
Look, dude, I don't go left, I don't go right. I'm agnostic.
Bullshit! If that's the case, then why are you pushing this guy away? Why are you canceling on
It's
him?
a one-party consent state where he's...
Little shit.
Yep.
Wow.
So, he released this, and it blew up in
Politics
their
completely.
face.
I don't give a fuck about any of that shit. I really don't. I just want people to come to my fucking events.
Yeah.
And that's that. And Cody, I'm telling you, that's literally all I care about, bro. I just want them to come.
Why is it that people from the right more than likely are more open to anyone on the left, and it's yeah, okay, you can say whatever you want, I'll listen, I don't agree with you, but we can have a debate about it if you want. But
It used to not be like that. Back in the 80s and 90s, it used to be the opposite.
Where the right was more stead.
More evangelical Christians would go after people.
Right. They would not change their minds or listen to other people's opinions and stuff.
Yeah.
But the tables have flipped, and now the left is more just, it's my way or the highway kind of bullshit. If you deviate even the slightest bit, you're a Hitler, apparently.
Well, anything right on Mao is Hitler, so...
Which is the most retardedest thing in the world. I will listen to your complaints. I might even believe in some of your stuff if you can give me a good, clear explanation. But if you're going to sit there and whine and say I'm wrong for believing in something that I believe in, then yeah, no, you're the one who's wrong.
And Hitler also had a damn left.
He did?
And Hitler is also on the... Yeah, that is true, because to me, fascism, communism is the same thing. It's just...
Oh.
It's overreaching government authority.
Okay.
So, and also I keep saying the phrase, the new fascism is fighting fascism.
National Socialism.
Yeah.
The dictatorship. You're right, actually. So these people are the ones that are actually the Nazis.
Our events are man, that's something that's kind of something that we have here. People that would never hang out with each other are there. And they're there just for the fucking games and shit. The video games and all the stuff that we have.
Okay.
this convention is something that just kind of, popped up here in the last, and we only did this in the last 3 months. Most people, they plan this shit out for years.
Yeah.
Like, this is literally, I was just doing stuff in my local community, man.
Yeah, so an absolutely cowardly situation. This guy clearly is so afraid about the reputation of his event, he will gladly kick to the curb guests.
Okay, so ultimately what he's doing is he's afraid that since he's so right that he's going to get canceled by all the left mobs.
And he's actually not that right. He's not... Mm-hmm. He's just more based than anything.
Okay, so kind of like us in that regard?
Yeah.
Where we're kind of center lane. I'm open-minded as fuck. But at the same time, I pay attention to shit, okay? I listen... And it's like, yeah, if this sounds good, I'm going to go with this. If this does not sound good, I'm not going to go with this. The communist did to see who was easier to turn into a communist, a Nazi, or a capitalist. Nazis were easier to turn than the Huh. Well, yeah, I think Germany was really into, like, a bunch of types of... experimentation back then.
Yeah.
He allowed as a part of this convention because people are giving him a little pressure. See, I can say that I've been in situations like this too, with multiple conventions where I've had people trying to gun after me, try to get me removed from conventions. And I'll share one that is kind of the opposite of what Cam has experienced. About 2
I mean, heck, I think we've been getting some kind of flack lately just because we do reviews on Rev, we do reviews on Gundam and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Or reacts or whatever, not reviews.
Reacts.
Whatever. And people are like, yeah, no, I'm waiting for the hate. I'm just waiting at this point.
Yeah, we're a little who.
Sexuality books were the books that got burned. Huh. Sexology.
Years ago, I was a featured guest at a convention, and to not drag them into drama, I won't name them directly, but one of the companies I work with, one of my sponsors, was at the event, and I met one of the head honchos, if you will, from that company, and I met them backstage at an event, and they handed me a drink, and they asked me a question right off the bat. They basically said, Rev, why are people so angry at you? And I'm like, well, here's what I do for content, blah, 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 blah. Here's what I deal with. And he says, I asked that because, personally speaking from events I've been a part of and talking with the showrunners of this convention, we've never seen the amount of complaints that you've received because of your content, the amount of people emailing and making complaints trying to get you removed from this event. I'm like, oh, well, that's great.
Wow.
Not too shocking, but anyways, they would go on to say, I just don't understand this because I've watched your content. I think what you do is great, and not to glaze myself over there, like, thank you for having the balls to say what you say, essentially.
Yeah.
And they ended it by saying, don't worry about all this stuff. We got your fucking back. And I remember that being like one of the greatest things to hear as a content creator who has to deal with a bunch of people trying to engage in life ruination, trying to get your sponsors removed, trying to get you removed from conventions and stuff like that. I share that not just to share a funny story about that, but to basically give the right way of handling this stuff. And this is how these conventions should stand up for the people that are either their partners or people who are featured guests at their event. Because after all, Camelot was a featured guest. He was offered a position here and he accepted, and then they turn around and kick him out.
That's the horrible thing. When they invite you and then out of nowhere they take it away. For no good reason or anything.
Yeah, that's it. It's stupid. And like I said, this guy's first convention. It's probably gonna be his last convention.
Man, that's sad.
That is absolute BS, and I think that is literally the definition of cancel culture. And luckily, a lot of people are seeing this. They're calling it out for what it is, including other people who are part of the convention, including this individual right here, saying, I was looking forward to announcing a meetup in Raleigh at this convention, but after they banned a fellow creator for exercising free speech, I can't support it. I won't be part of something that promotes cancel culture and turns a gaming event into a political stage. The censorship needs to stop. And we need to see this more often with these events where someone's getting thrown under
Cancel
the bus
culture is stupid.
in the
I think
pursuit
we're
of
getting to
cancel
the point where we're
culture.
sick of it.
And we need other people to stand up
I
and say,
know,
no,
right?
I was originally supposed to...
I feel like the last 10 years we have been putting up with it so long, and I think the last, I want to say the last 2 years, it's finally people are getting sick of it.
Mm-hmm.
Guess last November showed that.
Oh yeah, but since Trump-a-doo-doo won.
They tried to cancel him every which way.
be a part of this, but after seeing what's happening to one of the other fellow content creators here, I'm out. And something very similar, again, another experience I had involved Kirsha, who weighed in on the situation saying,
Yep.
basically, I have my own disagreements and my own history with Cam, but what's happening to him is incredibly unfair. And I bring her up because about a year ago, Kirsha, me and my wife were all supposed to be featured guests at Off-Kai 2024. And Kirsha was eventually let go, basically for the same reasoning as Cam from this recent convention.
Okay, so did he and his wife end up still going?
No, they canceled because of Kirsha got kicked.
Oh, so they chose, so just to support. That's nice. That's sweet. There's another convention we'll go to next year in July, which is called Retro Matsuri in New Hampshire. Oh, that's cool. If people hate a content creator, they should just stop watching them. Instead, to try to get them banned and stuff. I know, right? Yeah.
Kirsha Bunker has a rat-hunting cat now.
Aww.
Because she has this, like I said, she had to leave her apartment because someone tried to threaten her life.
Right. That's when things are getting disgusting. She has done literally nothing wrong. And people attack her. It's horrible, it's disgusting, and I hate it. She doesn't deserve this.
She was problematic, and some of the vendors and stuff like that, some of the staff, they didn't like her. They were so soft and fragile, they had to get rid of her because they just couldn't coexist with someone who has a different viewpoint than them.
Why are people so pussy nowadays?
Or it's more like people think the world belongs to them. They're the main character of the world. That's what they say go.
You're just as worthless as the rest of us. We all die in the end. God, it's like you're dying right now.
I've been dying for the whole week. What are you talking about?
You all die. Everyone dies. Go die.
Like seeing that back last year, we said, yeah, no way. We're not going to be a part of this. We gave up our positions in protest of what's going on, and we ended up basically crashing the event anyways. We a couple of Kirsha's fans brought in a little tripod. We did like a behind-the-scenes meetup. We even walked through the convention on the tripod with our models and everything, but that's a whole nother story you can check out on your own. But basically, yes, that's another example of people trying to do the right thing and not support cancel culture, even if it comes at a sacrifice of your own, because being a featured guest at a convention is obviously a really cool thing, but of course, it's nice to stand up for other people, even if you have to sacrifice something yourself in the pursuit of battling cancel culture and supporting free speech. And I guess
I'm guessing, was he already, like, friends or knew Kirsha in a little bit?
Him and Rev and Kirsha?
Yeah.
No, Rev just didn't like what was going on and left.
Oh, okay.
there's a good ending to this. Cam Wood announced that a different convention and the owner of it would text him saying they're appalled at what was happening with the Game and Geek convention here, and they offered a position and to fly him out to be a guest at this convention. So if there's a good ending here,
Surge
that's what it is. This is the
2025.
Streisand effect in motion here, where you have this convention.
Why, you want to go there?
No, I'm just curious what it's about.
Okay. Let's see, applying at a, canceling from the other expo, he offered to fly me out and be a guest at Surge. What is Surge? Where is Surge? Yeah.
Southeast Gaming Expo
Mm-hmm.
in Greenville, South Carolina.
Oh, South Carolina.
Alright.
South Carolina too far for us.
Yeah. like going to Virginia.
Yeah. Yeah, many people think they are the main character these days. It's crazy.
That was probably completely controversy-free, and of course, a couple people complain. They take them seriously. They punish content creators for exercising free speech and having a supposed wrong think, and now it blows up in their face. Now this whole convention is mired in controversy, and it's all self-created because these people simply couldn't say no. The vendors, whether it was the photographer or whoever, they couldn't just look at them and say no. You're gonna.
Ultimately, the only time it's okay for these people to cancel on a creator is if said creator is actually like has some kind of legal stuff on them, like not just hearsay about it, but actually they have like a court case and all that jazz.
Well, how wasn't that one voice actor got like charged with molesting kids, and they still allowed him on another convention because he was gay?
See, now that... Oh, you're talking about... Ooh, I think that was someone who does a voice of Frieza, if I remember correctly.
Huh.
Are you talking about that guy?
Maybe.
Have to deal with this. People think differently than you, and you're gonna have to deal with it if you're gonna work at this convention. It really should be that simple, and I wish more vendors, sponsors, and convention runners would do this, but unfortunately, this is the situation for now. But anyways, that's going to do it for this video. As always, feel free to share your thoughts about today's topics in the comment section.
Alright.
Well, ultimately, yeah, just you don't cancel someone unless they're like a convicted sex offender or something and actually has, like, another thing, like, actually has, like, paper, because...
Ice cream!
Yay, ice cream. Okay, final thoughts, ice cream. Thank you for joining us. Bye!